What is going on, everybody? Welcome into the Wager Alarm live stream. I'm Howard Bender. With me, of course, Craig Mish. Happy Friday night, Mish. It's time to get our picks in. But yet, before we do that, there's breaking news. How are you?
I'm doing well. It feels like this is for college, it's pretty cut and dry, but for the NFL, it feels like every second there's somebody else out or hurt or something happening. It's just I've been doing this like you have a long time. I don't ever recall a week like this where and maybe it's just my teams that have just been unluckily affected, I guess, by it, but like literally considering in fantasy picking up Freddie Swain and the backup to Kareem Hunt and the backup to the backup on Chicago. Like it just and Seattle's got all these issues too. It just feels like it's just piling on. And by the way, some of these things with the players, and you can use this in terms of handicapping. Like, I mean, I guess I was sleeping on some of this stuff because I just found out about a lot of this stuff today and yesterday. We've seen some big line moves too in the NFL. And then what you're alluding to is obviously very significant. And we, clearly didn't know about this when we talked through our picks, and we do produce this show, believe it or not, beforehand. We don't just fly. Maybe we'd do better if we did. But anyway, so Cliff Kingsbury, according to ESPN, has tested positive for COVID and is out for Sunday, and so is their defensive line coach, and I think maybe their quarterback coach too. So from a handicapping perspective, this is the dynamic where it's like if we took Arizona in the Golden Nugget contest, which we already submitted our picks for, which was today, we'd feel pretty crappy that we did because now there's some uncertainty. And then we also have to make the decision, do we throw a dart here at the team playing against Arizona with the idea that something crazy happens and Sunday they're missing a bunch of players? Because I think, if I'm not mistaken, the NFL said no matter what, the games are getting played this year or they're forfeiting, right? Like that's the deal.
They did say that they were going to try and get them in. Now, I mean, is there a chance that this game gets postponed and moved to another?
I think they were not doing that this year. I think they said they are not doing that this season.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, or pushing it to what? To Monday? Pushing it to Tuesday?
I don't think so, man. I don't think so.
I don't know the official word.
From what I understand, and I could be wrong, the team has to play or they forfeit. There's no other option.
Well,
yeah.
Teams are set to play on Sunday. I don't know, Matt. Was the world able to hear you say that, or are you just saying it to us?
Okay.
All right. Well, you gotta.
Just were silent for 10 seconds.
Let me read. Just Craig and I are like,
you look good. You look good.
So Tom Pelissaro is saying that the game is still scheduled for 4 p.m. Eastern time on Sunday. They will enhance protocols on Arizona now. This is gonna be a big deal. But I mean, listen, I don't know the details. I thought that they were, that they were basically saying that they were going to do everything they could to try and get these games in. I knew that they weren't going to go beyond, the 18-week season here. So, I mean, to move a game from Sunday to Monday or Sunday to Tuesday, I don't think that's that big of a deal. And I don't think the NFL would be upset about something like that. I don't think they're going to automatically make you forfeit if you can't play on Sunday.
Yeah. Look, you know what? The truth is I'm not 100% sure of this, but here is what I would say is we're going to give you our picks in the Golden Nugget. We're going to give you our picks in the Super Contest. But keep in mind that we do not have to turn in these picks until Saturday, fairly late in the day, if I'm not mistaken. So I think that as the day goes on Saturday, we will certainly give our picks. But clearly, for any of you who are in a contest or who are betting, and you may not be able to bet on this game anymore right now, wherever you are locally, I'm not sure. But clearly, if we were to find out that Kyler Murray is out, something like that, we would switch our pick and we would take the Browns. And the reason why we would, for those of you who don't know, in the Super Contest, the lines lock on Wednesday. That's it. Whatever they are on Wednesday is the end. And in the last 5 years or whatever, Howard and I have been doing this, pretty much once or twice a year, we've grabbed a free game, essentially. Like it's happened where a line comes out, the quarterback gets hurt, the line moves 6 points, And we do it. We take the free game. Why do we do that? Because some people do bet the Thursday night game. Some people pick the Thursday night game. When you turn in the Thursday night game, Howard, what happens? You have to turn in all your picks. So those people do not have the luxury of doing that. That is the benefit of waiting. So check back next week to see who we took. We'll tell you who we like this week for sure. Odds are we'll keep the same picks, but we have to reserve the right to change on something like this.
Yeah, and listen, you guys will still see it. The deadline is 4 p.m. Pacific time on Saturday to submit for the Supercontest.
That's fantastic. Okay.
So, but know that we're this ticket will be posted Saturday night. So if you want to know who where we're leaning or what we ended up doing in the final, in the end, Saturday night, early Sunday morning before the games start, you'll be able to go over to Wager Alarm live stream. The Golden Nugget ticket that'll be posted tonight, so you'll be able to take a look at that. So all that being said, let's get to our picks here. Let's talk about what we got going on in the Golden Nugget. Let's start off. Let's see. Where do we want to start? I'll tell you what. I want to start off at Boston College versus North Carolina State. We got two teams that are 4-1. Both teams love to run the ball. It's what is it? Boston College is getting 3 points here. Yes. We're taking BC. Why are we taking BC?
The strength of schedule is something I look at always in teams that are favored over other teams and sort of who they've beaten. And NC State, really, in general, I went back and I saw that they hadn't really beat anyone good. So I was kind of wondering why they are a road favorite in a game that arguably could mean one of these two teams ends up playing for the ACC championship. It's very clear at this point that Clemson is enduring a down year. Anybody that thought by some silly miracle Miami was going to be good, that was wrong too. So the ACC is kind of wide open at this point. Florida State, we learned our lesson with them. They're not good either. I think these two
they won last week, by the way.
Finally.
It was their homecoming, I found out.
If you don't win on homecoming, you stink, right? Against the bad So stats, stats I look at, strength of schedule in college, quarterback in college, but BC does something really well, and I don't think it's a lucky stat. They convert third downs, and so there are going to be a lot of them, I think, on both sides of the ball because they run so much on first down, they run so much on second down. They have the third highest third down percentage completion in the country. NC State is a pretty good team too, but I just think that both teams are 4-1. It's one of the biggest games in Chestnut Hill in a long time with them having a shot to play for the ACC championship. They're still going to have to win games again, but I really see this coming right down to the end. I also prefer in this spot BC's kicker over NC State's, and that is important to mention as well. So we'll take Boston College at home plus the points, in all likelihood a really close game, hoping for some crooked numbers, some missed extra points, some 2-point conversions. A short line for sure, but home dog in the ACC where I don't think any team has really separated themselves this season.
All right. I like it. All right. Next game, we're going to take Utah taking on Arizona State, right? Is it the Utes versus the STDs? Is that the mascot of Arizona State? I believe it might be. It's a pick'em, Craig. Now, we've taken Utah twice already this year. We've cashed. Yeah. We did.
Oh.
Early on.
We're right. We lost the first one. We won the second one. True.
And we went back to the well and we won the second one. It was a blowout against USC. They've now won 5 straight in the Pac-12. And here we go. Arizona State, I'm not a big fan. It's a pick'em game here. So no spread. Don't worry about it. We got Utah.
Yeah, and Utah is not favored in this game. In fact, if you look at the line right now, it looks like Arizona State may be 1, but I do expect Utah to be favored by the time this game goes off, which means you have a unranked team, again, as a favorite, going up against a ranked team, and in general, you're going to win 6 out of 10 times doing that. That's not necessarily why I like this, but it is part of the equation. Because we had the game last week, of course, I'm going to watch some of it. I thought Utah looked really good. This quarterback, who I had never heard of a couple of weeks ago, this guy Cameron Rising, he took over for Charlie Brewer, who was their quarterback at Utah the last couple of years. He left the team, and he was out of his mind, and he played really well against USC. I think this could happen again. Now, look, Herm Edwards is a good coach. He's on the Arizona State side. Of course, the defense is pretty good for ASU, but I just really think taking the home team in the Pac-12, you mentioned it, Utah has won 5 straight in the conference. This is basically one of those handicaps where normally, if I didn't watch the game last week, I may not go back to it, but I really liked what I saw. I thought that USC, while they were not formidable, I thought that it's like a 500 team in college football, and they basically slaughtered them. So, why are they getting points at home? I'm not entirely sure. Probably a lower scoring game. I think there was 66 points in the game last week between Utah and USC. I have this somewhere in the 40s, but we'll take Utah at home. Remember, again, 2 weeks ago, we mentioned, unfortunately, one of their players passed away. It wasn't the reason why we took that, but, played into, the conversation of this team just seems really motivated right now. And so we'll take them back-to-back weeks. I think Utah's going to win again.
All right, beautiful. So to pick them there, Utah. Next game on the slate. Oh, this one's an interesting one here. Let the trend be your friend. Purdue taking on number 2 in the country, Iowa. Is Iowa the number 2 team in the country, though? Are they worth that?
You just answered the question.
What's that?
Your rhetorical question was a fair one. I think you just kind of answered it.
I pretty much did. We're taking Purdue. We're taking the points.
Yeah, look, Iowa is second in the country by default. Let's call it what it is at this point. Clemson is just off this year, okay? They've already lost a couple of times. Alabama's already gone down. Penn State was beating Iowa pretty handily. Iowa came back and won 23-20 last week. Iowa's going to lose eventually. And if they don't lose now, it's going to be in the playoff. Now, is Purdue going to go in to Ames and beat them? I don't know. But the trends are just out of control in this game. So when I was looking at them, I'm like, how can you not back Purdue? Purdue, the last 5 times they've gone to play at Iowa, they have covered all 5 times. I mean, that is not something to go against. And that means good Iowa teams. That means bad Iowa teams. That means Purdue was favored a couple. I mean, it's just basically across the board. Purdue 5-2 in their last 7 against a team with a winning record. 8-2 in their last 10 as an underdog. Purdue is obviously not fantastic. They probably will lose this game by 3 or 4. But Iowa just doesn't destroy anyone. Like, they beat Colorado State by 10. They barely beat Penn State. All they do is run the ball and play defense. It's a horrible recipe for a playoff. No one is going to want to see them play if they get to that point in the playoff. But at this point, who do we have that's undefeated in the country, Howard? We have Iowa and we have Georgia. And that's basically it. Like, there's a few other teams, but formidable, probably not. Let's take the points here with Purdue, keeping the game close and keeping that trend going. I'm not somebody that likes to go back 10 years and look at something that happened, but it is undeniable for whatever reason this team gets up 4 games when they go there. So I got right now, in terms of where I see it, I have Iowa winning this game by 4. They're 12-point favorites. We'll take the points.
We'll definitely take the points there, no doubt. All right, so there we go. BC +3, Utah and a pick'em, Purdue +12 against Iowa. Our last pick here. Hey, look at that. We're going for them now. It's Kansas State getting 6.5 points here against Iowa State. It's the return of Skylar Thompson, Craig.
Yeah, and look, we faded Kansas State without him. They played horrible without him, and with him, obviously, they're going to be much better. Iowa State also hasn't fared pretty well at all in Kansas State. They haven't beaten them there since 2004. But look, the Cyclones are definitely a better team. But they went into the season, and most people thought that not only would Iowa State have a chance to beat Iowa, Howard, but they would have a chance to run the table and maybe play for the championship, and that's gone now. I mean, essentially. I mean, they still are kind of in it, but they lost to Baylor, and it was a really bad loss for them. They just don't really look that good. Also, K-State have one of the toughest schedules to start the season, and I just really think that it's too many points to lay with a veteran quarterback like Thompson. Now, if he gets hurt or if, he goes out, we're in trouble here. I've seen this line go crazy this week too. I saw 6.5, 6. I saw 7.5, and I saw some 7. My recommendation is clearly try and get your 7 here because obviously there's a huge number in college football, so you're hoping that it comes down to that. But of the 4 picks, And 2 weeks ago was the first time I said this and we lost this season. But of the 4 college picks, this is my favorite one. I think Kansas State has a chance to beat Iowa State this week. So we're going to take the points.
All right, taking the points there. Those are our 4 selections for the Golden Nugget Football Challenge. Let's talk about the pro games that we're digging on here. We'll start off with, it's an interesting one here because Carolina against Minnesota, this line started off where Carolina was favored by 1.
Yeah.
Then it flipped completely and it went to Carolina was getting a point.
Right.
Now, at this point now, Carolina's getting 2.5.
I know.
Which, like, that was concerning me. And when we talked about it, I was like, listen, I think Carolina's just a better team anyway. But you've got, obviously Minnesota's getting Dalvin Cook back. McCaffrey's already been ruled out. My biggest issue with this is I think everybody's just thinking that Sam Darnold is the same old Sam Darnold that he was with the Jets. And his performance last week was absolute trash. And I think that they think that people are going to do that. Now, I know that the front 7 for Minnesota is okay, right? And you've got a guy like Everson Griffin who's going to be able to rush the passer. But the secondary is absolute trash. And I'll tell you, man, I'll take those nice underneath slants that Joe Brady loves to run with these wide receivers. So, I when Carolina was a point favorite, I liked them still to win this game. 2.5 now as an underdog. We're only getting 1 point here in the Nugget, and right. I'm okay with it because I do think that Carolina wins this game outright.
Yeah, I think that when you mentioned something that was really important the other night, and it kind of blew up a little in our face last night. I'll get to that. So the reason why Carolina lost against Philadelphia last week is because clearly Darnold did not play well, but also that fake punt. I keep going back to that. I talked about a lot about that this week. I don't think Philadelphia has a chance to beat Carolina if they punt that ball down to the 5, as evidence from what we saw from Jalen Hurts last night. And 100%. But now flip it a little, and do you feel better about Carolina after watching Philadelphia last night against Tampa? I'm not so sure you do, but I am with you in the sense that I think that's as bad as Darnold can play. And then the other thing that I will guarantee you changes in this game, and you know me, I'm not big on naming the players as to why I'm taking a team or handicapping or whatever. But DJ Moore, how is this guy not more involved in the game plan last week? I have no idea. I have a feeling that he is going to get a lot of targets, a lot of catches. He's the most dynamic player probably on both sides of the field in this game. I know Jefferson is fantastic, but he's a little banged up, I think, on Minnesota too. So, yes, it is a little bit concerning and wondering why this line has flipped so much. I mean, McCaffrey, is he really worth a point? I guess that's what they're saying. I don't think so. I don't think any running back is worth a point in the NFL, and Hubbard's been okay. So we'll take Carolina here plus a point.
Yeah, there you go. We're losing 1.5 points of value here, but still, again, I think they win this. So, what has Minnesota done that's enthralled us? That's kind of my thing there. All right, next.
They've gone down to the wire in every game this season. That's exactly what they've done. And you know what? This game, in all likelihood, probably going to go down to the wire too.
And we'll get our point.
We got a point.
We'll get our point, right?
We got a point and a half in the other one.
If it ends at 21-21,
we win.
We're good. Next game we're taking for the Golden Nuggets, Steelers, Sunday night, -5 here. I think it's 5.5 right now is what the line is. So it's only -5 for us. And listen, this is Steelers at home. The defense plays better at home. I'm not a Big Ben fan, but I'm sorry. It's no Chris Carson, no Russell Wilson. Geno Smith is not good. Now, could Geno Smith come in the middle of a game and run a nice series? Yeah, okay, sure. Defense isn't prepared for him. They haven't gotten used to. They don't know what his tendencies are. They know what Russell Wilson's doing, or at least they try to. Seattle's just bad all around. I don't trust Geno Smith. Their defense is terrible. I have no problems. I don't, laying the 5. I wouldn't do. I wish it was lower. Yeah, of course I do. But I'll still take the Steelers here. They win this one easily by a touchdown.
Yeah, the line sort of tells the story because I don't think Pittsburgh is very good. but the line is sort of telling you like, wow, like Seattle must be really bad. Also, don't forget this is the West Coast to East Coast thing. It's not easy to do for sure for any of those teams.
Right.
This is a very square pick. This is probably the most square pick that we've had this year, where it's just like we think this team is good and this team is bad. That's pretty much it for this. I just have no confidence in Seattle's defense. I just think in terms of downgrades, I mean, look, Tua to Jacoby Brissett turned out to be a massive downgrade. The Dolphins played horribly in every game Tua was out. I would challenge and say that this is the biggest downgrade for any team in the NFL at quarterback. And is that really being accounted for here? I don't think so. I think if Russell Wilson was playing, Pittsburgh would still be a favorite by like 1 or 2. I really do. I don't think Seattle would be favored in this. And you're telling me Metcalf may not play too? Like, what was the report on him? Like, that's the most important.
I didn't hear that. I thought Metcalf was fine.
Yeah, I mean, Metcalf, I know he missed practice Wednesday and Thursday. So, I mean, I don't know about today. I have no idea. So it's a square pick, taking a favorite minus the points.
No injury designation.
No designation. He's fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a foot issue, but they said he has no injury designation now.
Okay. Yeah. I just think Seattle's not good. Like, I close my eyes and I look at this and I say Seattle is 4-13 at the end of the season, and Russell Wilson doesn't come back. And it's just a horrible year for them, and it's over. And I think that this is the beginning of that. Now, again, I was the one a couple of weeks ago that said that Pittsburgh was done and finished and all of that. But, clearly, honestly, it's just two teams that aren't really good. And I think a really bad spot for Seattle.
I agree with that. Yeah. I think that Pittsburgh, no. Najee Harris, rock solid. The offensive line, trash. Big Ben, trash. So it'll be Najee Harris, it'll be Deontay Johnson carrying us through, and I'm fine with that, especially against what Seattle's dishing out.
Yeah.
So
also, going back, like, Daniel Jones to Mike Glennon, definite downgrade, to a degree for sure. If Fields was out and they had to go to Dalton, right? Garoppolo, Lance, like think of all those, and even with Tua, Brissett, and now you consider Russell Wilson and Geno Smith, like that's a lot. That's a huge downgrade for me. I mean, where would it be more? I guess if Tom Brady was out or Dak went out again, like I think that those would be. But I mean, even Davis Mills not from Tyrod Taylor, but even Davis Mills from Deshaun Watson. Davis Mills played okay, but let's
not get ahead of ourselves here, right?
He's been covering spreads, Howard. They almost beat New England. Just saying.
Last game we're picking here. It's our good old-fashioned Monday night home dog, right? Love it. Titans getting 6 points here in the Nugget. The line is 5.5 right now. Happy to get my 6 here. Listen, I get it. Everybody loves Buffalo. Josh Allen looks fantastic. The offense looks great. The defense looks great. There's no doubt about it. With the Titans defense being as bad as it is, like, why isn't this like a 7.5 or an 8 game spread? You got AJ Brown back, you got Julio Jones back, you got Derrick Henry running the football. I'm fine being on the Monday night home dog train here.
Yeah, the classic letdown spot here for Buffalo. They've played the best football of any team in the NFL the last 4 weeks, right after that game against Pittsburgh. Monstrous game on Sunday night where they go to Kansas City and they win and they play awesome. And then they go from 2.5-point underdogs in Kansas City to a 6-point favorite at Tennessee. Think about what that game did in terms of impact and how much that changed the line. I don't like Tennessee either. I'm with you. But I feel like Tennessee's going to show up for this, like maybe not win, but, lose by 1, field goal late, something like that. Sure. I think the Titans, I think the Titans have a chance to win at the end of the season. Buffalo, there's 17 games. They're going to be 13-4 or 14-3. They may lose this one. It's possible. They're not going to win every game. So, yeah, and Monday night home dog is always, not always, but it's like a 56% win percentage or something like that. So you're always on the right side there. Although we have had our troubles with identifying those, but I hope we get this one on Monday.
I hope we do too, Craig. What are you doing? Don't put that energy out there. Let's go to the Super Contest.
Keeping it honest.
Don't lie to me. Lie to me, Craig.
We've never lost a Monday night game.
Thank you. That's not true, though. That's not true.
We didn't lose last week either.
We didn't take a Monday night game last week. There you go. So we didn't lose. All right. So Golden Nugget, there it is. Boston College +3, Utah to pick 'em, Purdue +12, Kansas State +6.5, the Panthers +1, the Steelers -5, and the Titans +6. It's all dog central here. Roof. Let's go over to the Super Contest where we are taking the Panthers again. We get a 1.5 in this one, as opposed to just the straight point. So thank you very much, Westgate Super Contest. We appreciate that. And we're taking the home dog Titans, right? They're only getting 5.5 this time.
Right.
But I still feel good about it. Now, the other picks, this is where it gets grimy. This is where it gets a little dirty. We were talking about taking... Well, so earlier in the stream, now we got to wait and see what happens with Arizona.
Right.
See what happens with this line, and then figure out what game we're going to replace with that. Now, one game we are replacing from the Nugget to the Super Contest is that we are not taking the Steelers.
Correct.
Going up against the Seahawks, we're going to replace them with another favorite.
Right.
And that's Green Bay. And tell them why we're going to Green Bay.
Yeah, that's the biggest line move of the week. The Packers are 6. I anticipate this going higher. I guess there's a lot of concern that Khalil Mack is not going to play. Allen Robinson may not play. We know that their running back is out in Damian Williams. And whenever there's a COVID issue, it seems like these lines are moving a little bit to adjust for that. Bears are coming off 2 wins in a row. Packers clearly are the better team. We have to grab a line that moves a 1.5 or 2 points. We have to do that. So we're going to take Green Bay minus the 4.5 in the contest. But for those of you who are betting our picks or you're betting on your own, the Packers are now -6, and I think that's going up. I don't think that's going down. So for the Super Contest, it will be Carolina, it will be Tennessee, it will be Green Bay, and I definitely want New England in here. I definitely want New England in something that we do this weekend because this is my favorite probably of all of them. I
know it is. So all right,
I really like New England this week.
Again, talk me out of the crazy tree here because here's my thinking, right? Okay. I get it. New England played Tampa Bay tough.
Yes.
Right. 19-17 is the way that game finished.
Okay.
Beautiful, right? We've got Dallas now, who's a 3.5-point favorite. Is it 3.5? It is 3.5 still.
Yes, and that's huge. Yes.
Okay, wait. I get that it's huge. I get that. But here's my thought process about this is that I don't understand why the game total is 50. Like, you're telling me there has been nothing that New England has done to show you that they are a strong offensive team, capable of putting up enough points to A, keep this game close, and B, push the total to like close to 50. That's where the disconnect is for me. Sure. I'm having a lot of trouble rationalizing it. I get it. You want to take New England because this is just the line is screaming at you to take Dallas. The over-under here is it's twisted me up, man. Like, is the Dallas defense that's been so highly vaulted and everybody loves them and Micah Parsons and Trevon Diggs and they're putting it all together here. Like, what is it about New England that says that they can put up enough points to keep this close and to push this total to 50?
Listen, it's a very fair assessment on your part. I agree with that, and you don't see a path for New England scoring 4 touchdowns. And that doesn't have to happen, by the way, for this to go over. It would be like 3 touchdowns and a field goal, and the same thing with Dallas or close to it. But I would also say that just historically speaking, the spots get worse and worse the better that Dallas is, and look, through the years I've talked about it. Dallas is just the worst betting team in the NFL as a favorite historically. They are horrible as a favorite. Their lines are always inflated. This week in particular, it does not appear that way. But that's what tells me to take the Patriots. When I look at the lines on Sunday before they come out, right before, and I try and figure out what things are going to be. And when I see a line that looks way off, it immediately makes me run to that team. So I really don't have a great explanation for what you're saying because I think it's a fair assessment. But I think the Patriots have a great chance to win this game on Sunday. They looked. I think Tampa Bay is better than Dallas. I do. I think they're better, and the line certainly indicates that Tampa Bay was better than Dallas because Tampa Bay was 7 in New England and Dallas is only 3.5. But I think New England scores a defensive touchdown in this game. I think it gets ugly. Maybe to feel better about it, you want to bet the over on this then, if that's the case. And
right. I mean, from everything that you just laid out there right now, 27-24.
There
You
it
take
is.
New England, you get that extra hook there, so you
There it
end
is.
up covering the spread, and it pushes to the over.
Or 26-24, something like that. I see that. 25-22, close game, late game stuff.
All right, I'm
It's about line for me, nothing else. It is not about. Look, Dallas looks like the better team. They are the better team. Look. Maybe there's a shift. Okay, you have to be willing to change your opinion on things. And at this point, the way the Chargers are playing, as an example, you have to be willing to say, okay, well, maybe the Chargers are legit. Maybe the coach is good. Maybe all those things that happened in the past are done. Yes, I think it is fair to go down that road. I'm not there with Dallas yet. I am not there. I'm not feeling that yet, especially as a road favorite. No, I'm not going to do that. Their defense has definitely played better. I still think the run game has been the primary goal for them. They run the ball more than they throw. They've been running with Ezekiel Elliott and Pollard more than they've been throwing. And Dallas was a throwing team with Dak when he was healthy last year. So again, that's just bad line for me. Got to take the. I like New England this week.
All right, listen, you told me it was your favorite pick. I'm not going to go against that. It's part of being a partner in this whole Michigas that we call the Supercontest.
And the favorite pick usually is pretty good here.
Yeah,
usually is
100%.
pretty good.
Now let's look at the trash.
Now it's
a game that I hate investing in. Always, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's a survivor contest, if it's picking games here. All right, Raiders Broncos always finds a way to push it up my hoo-ha, and it's never good to me. But you seem to love the Raiders here.
I do.
But this isn't them firing the coach and the team rallying around it. But you see, this is forced resignation,
sort of.
And you think that Carr is like my mentor, and Darren Waller's like, he gave me that second chance idea. So you think that the Raiders rally together?
Yeah.
Listen, we know the Broncos stink. Their offense is not good. Their defense, though, it's not terrible.
I don't know how you can think that Denver deserves to be a field goal favorite over anyone, Howard. I'm just being honest. Like, they came back in that game last week against Pittsburgh because they were down a lot. We see that happen all the time in the NFL. It would not shock me to see the Broncos lose a lot of games in a row at this point. I don't believe in them at all. And I don't think the Raiders are great either. But, yeah, I kind of see the rallying cry here. I would say that if you like what we can do, we feel pretty locked in, I would say, to the Panthers, the Titans, the Packers, and the Patriots. But let's reserve the right to see what happens tomorrow. We're going to lock in the Raiders for now, and if nothing changes, we'll stick with the Raiders. But if we see something crazy change factually for Arizona, where a player, we hear, let's not use a name, a player is out that could affect the rest of the team, we will strongly consider taking Cleveland in that spot. But I do think the Raiders are going to win the game. I do. I think they're going to rally. I'm dreaming of the coach getting the Gatorade at the end. I'm just seeing this. I'm seeing it happen, Howard, and I got to go with it.
Craig busted out his copy of The Secret, and now he's trying to visualize and put that energy out there. All right.
And it was blue Gatorade.
And it was blue Gatorade, right? There it was. Were you sure it wasn't purple?
Gosh, does anybody go back and watch these after they're over? I would sound so bad on some of these things. It's funny.
All right, so there we are for the Super Contest. We got one pick that's sort of up in the air. Again, Saturday night, our picks will be in, and I will have the ticket posted on wageralarm.com. You'll be able to check all of that out. Any other games that piqued your curiosity that you wanted to mention, or?
Yeah, let me just take a quick look here. I'll tell you just like quick leans, like teams that I like a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't see things the same way on Chargers Ravens. I like the Ravens this week.
I like the Chargers.
Yeah, I kind of like the Ravens. Like
I like the Chargers
because the kicker,
doesn't matter. The team.
Miami Jacksonville, I did not have an opinion.
Yeah, I lean Miami there, laying the points.
Yeah, Cleveland's up to -3.5 now, by the way. So
there
we're
you
gonna
go.
Yeah, we're gonna have to keep an eye on that.
Ooh.
I gotta say that's about it. The Rams line is shot down from.
Give me the Bengals.
You like the Bengals, huh?
I like the Bengals. I hate the Lions.
Yeah, Detroit's not very good. Washington, Kansas City. Ugh.
Right?
Who knows? All right. Yeah, that's about it.
All right. That's going to do it then. Big thanks to our producer, Matt Sells, for always doing such a great job. Again, wageralarm.com. Check out our picks. I'll be posting right after this live stream. I'll be posting the Golden Nugget ticket. And then tomorrow night, we'll finalize everything for the Super Contest. So be on the lookout for that. Right? Let's go. I'm rooting for COVID here so that I don't have to take the Raiders and I can take the Browns, for crying out loud.
You're rooting for COVID. Wow.
I'm sorry. It's a terrible thing to say.
Fans, Howard, believe me.
It's a terrible thing to say, I know, but dude, the Raiders, man. The Raiders.
I'll pivot off, then pivot off. I'm good with it.
Okay, so we'll take the Chargers.
Yeah, that I don't know.
Yeah, see, exactly. So we've got the plan.
With the pick. Like we have to be on the same page with that.
I know. We've got our plan. We're in agreement that if we see more stuff going on and the line moves even more, than it's already moved a half point.
Yes.
Then that's what we're going to do, and we're going to drop the Raiders pick. And then come, Tuesday when we're here on the live stream, if the Raiders somehow cover this spread, you could be like,
I'm not going to need to. You're going to go, oh my God, why did I listen? Don't ever let me do that again.
I just won't show up for the live stream. You're just going to be like,
it sells, and we'll just be sitting here like this.
Oh, goodness gracious. That's going to do it for us here on the Wager Alarm live stream. Thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in. For Craig Mish, I'm Howard Bender. We'll catch you next time.